Hey, what's going on, friends? My podcast every day is broken up into 2 parts on the free platform. The first part, Act 1, is right now. When it's all done, go right on over to Act 2 to get the second half of the podcast. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Hello, friends, and welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the posh Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. I just saw the good folks over there and said hello to them. If you're in the market for something fun with an engine, ATV, UTV, motorcycle, scooter, go-kart, Yamaha golf cart, they have it at Impact Power Sports. ImpactPowersportsMI.com for you. And they're in Rockford, Michigan. Go visit them if you are in the West Michigan area. Okay. Now, if you're watching this, and like if you're listening to the audio podcast later, that's totally fine, of course. But if you're watching it, you're like, something's weird about EZ. What's going on with him? And I was in the sun a little bit yesterday. And I look, right now, it's as if I had on a pair of, somebody spray painted my face and I had something over like my eyes. So much sun. It felt great too. Now, Armenians are unique because we're hardy in the mountainous, cold regions of the Caucasus mountain ranges. But we love the sun. We get dark. All right? And we don't burn that easily. So I was in the sun, directly in the sun, for 4 hours nonstop yesterday at Locks for Rock 6 at King's Room Barbershop, Northland Drive. And I didn't even... Okey Pokey says, who is this... a Red Hulk-looking motherfucker? Yeah, no kidding. My face got the most of it. The sun was just beaming down on this fantastic day. It was great. I had a ball. I had so much fun. Ben Glaze says, you look like you have vitiligo. I witnessed something great yesterday, and it caught everybody at Locks for Rock by surprise. Molly says, sunscreen, hopefully. I didn't put a drop of sunscreen on. I probably should have. You're right. We had 3 acts that were performing at Locks for Rock, raising money for Molly's Wigs for Kids, Michigan. Teddy Brewer opened up, singer-songwriter, acoustic. Next band showed up was the Robin Eller Band. That's not the name of the band, but I gave the band the name. Jason Eller, who is behind Locks for Rock, raising funds and donating hair for little ones being treated for cancer and they lose their hair, or perhaps they have alopecia. So we're doing that, and this is their charitable event, teamed up with King's Room Barbershop. Well, Jason and Robin, the husband-wife tandem, they play together, and they had a couple other artists that were with them. They form a band. I don't even know the name of the damn band. I think it's just called the Jason Eller Band, but I called them the Robin Eller Band, and they were great. And then the final act, I, believe it or not, wasn't aware of. I mean, I think I had publicized it once or twice, but these things go in one ear and out the other for me. But as the Jason Eller Band is playing at King's Room Northland Drive, I noticed a lot of young people walking up with guitar cases. And when I say young, I mean teens. Like, what's going on? And it didn't really register with me. And then it dawned on me because one of the vendors that were there in the parking lot was an organization called School of Rock. Now, I had seen them in the parking lot a few times, and I was walking through, and I didn't know what it was. What is this? The only thing I know of, and there was like, you could get information there, and you could play. And I was like, what is School of Rock? All I know is there was a Jack Black movie that was pretty cool. Well, somebody got the bright idea at the time of the movie to actually do a School of Rock, just like the film. And you have music teachers teach kids how to play in rock bands. Becca Shea says, I just saw their building over the weekend. They are on Burton near Breton. Correct. And so I still don't, it hasn't like dawned on me yet what's happening. So I walk over behind the stage because I have to introduce them, and I usually talk to the artist just for 90 seconds to get an idea of what I want to talk about when I introduce them, and it's usually very brief. Hey, what am I promoting? What can I say about you guys? And then I'm surrounded by kids. And so, something. That's what's going on. And they start to explain what's going on, and then this one person jumps in who's an adult. Her name is Lydia, and she says, she gives me more information. And then I get the lowdown as to what is happening. So parents sign their kids up for this school to learn how to be in a rock band. Now, I guess you can have no experience, or you can already be great at what you do. One way or another, you're going to learn a lot of intricate things about being in a band. And, you know, from a musical standpoint, this is outstanding, and it seemed like a lot of fun. And everybody, all these young people were like pals with each other. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. All right, I get it. And one of the things I noticed that these are all like kids that actually play instruments. All right, rock band stuff. Bass, guitars, drums, singing, keyboards. I caught their set list, and they're all rock songs. They're doing covers, but what the hell, you know? And I can't tell you how blown away I was and everybody there. It wasn't like, oh, good job for a kid. It was like, great band. Oh, my God. And they are known as the School of Rock House Band. And they play at places like, in fact, the Acrisure Amphitheater when they had their opening day, like Gunner and the Grizzly Boys played there. Remember I mentioned that? The School of Rock House Band played there. And so you'll get like band members on a stage. They'll play a song. A couple will step off. A couple more of the kids come on and just crush it. You got to see this. And they play at places like the Pyramid Scheme. And the reason why they got involved with Locks for Rock was Jason Eller, who I mentioned to you earlier. This is his event. He saw a School of Rock at the Pyramid Scheme, and then that he reached out to them and made friends, and then got them booked to do this show. So moms and dads send their cool kids for a course and at School of Rock, and you can sign up for however many weeks, and it costs you a certain amount of money, and they're going to teach your kids how to play. They're going to make friends. It's fucking great is what it is. And I was just so stoked. And so the music that they were playing was, they played this great song by Stevie Wonder called I Wish, which I've always loved that song. And I have, well, actually, I didn't shoot any video, but there were several people that did shoot video, and then they posted it. And I don't want to show you any of that because, well, first of all, these are kids. And so you never know. Like, moms and dads might not like that, so I don't want to do any of that. Anything that I would show you, I would show it via their own Facebook page, just to give you an idea of what's happening here. But, yeah, I just could not say enough about it. In fact, I was going to start the show talking about the skydiving, but this was so much more in my brain I mean, I'll get to the skydiving, but I'm gonna keep an eye on School of Rock, and we have to go take a show field trip and see them perform. You're gonna love this, man. It is so freaking cool to see this all happen. I went to the School of Rock Facebook page, and these are like some photos of them at the Acrisure show. And all these kids are amazing musicians. And they're kids. They are total kids. It's not even close. This guy right here, he's a little fellow, just shreds. They all shred. This kid right here, he was trading licks with another dude named Thaddeus on the Stevie Ray Vaughan song Pride and Joy. And this kid was singing and doing trading solo parts with this other dude, Thaddeus, who plays a Eddie Van Halen Frankenstrat guitar. This dude with the flying V just crushing it. This kid is his name Kit. Really nice kid. They're all just awesome. I met a few. I met that one, and I didn't meet any of the other ones. But I'm telling you, man, I can't say enough about this. Just trying to see if they have any video posted. They're all very, very short clips. All right, that was short. I don't know if we're going to get many performances of them on stage, but trust me. Okay. If you have like a kid that's musically inclined, you definitely got to check these folks out. They do an amazing job. So the people that run the school are adults, music teachers, whatnot. And, man, it was freaking great. All right. And, fun time at King's Room Barbershop. Becca Shea says the Greystones are a kid band, and they are good, too. Man Bun Chris is here. He says, shoot, I forgot it was skydive day. Good news. I have a video of everything that happened that I'm going to share with you right now. So when you go there, before I get into the video, it's myself, Kevin Kuipers, Matt Kuipers, his brother, Ryan Leister, and Nate. Nate came all the way from Wisconsin. So good to meet him in person. He's been a listener for years. We're walking up, and Leister, there's some dude that was in a wheelchair. Just happened to be hanging out, friend of the crew or whatever at Skydive Grand Haven. and Leister goes, oh, that's comforting. When he sees wheelchair dude. And then I didn't say anything. I laughed. And then later on, he's such a sweet soul. He got like worried. He goes, yeah, I don't know if that was a good idea for me to say. I go, what? Don't fucking wimp out on a joke, idiot. No, it was great. Nate says, I sat next to Eric on the plane. We were touching knees. It was a tight squeeze in there. Scott says, I just had Kuiper Tree Care out this morning. So, different Kuipers. Kuiper Tree Care and the Kuipers brothers on this show. Kuipers is like a unbelievably common name around here. You got Kuiper Tree Care, Ben Kuiper. You got the Kuipers brothers. They're here. You got my neighbor, the Hallelujahs. They're the Kuipers. And then Tim Kuiper and Chris Kuiper, father of Zeke. It's like Smith around here. So we walk up, and it's a great place. I mean, you go there and everybody, it's kind of like you're hanging out with a bunch of hippies. Like if you've ever gone white water rafting before, the types of souls who will be the guides on the boat, that as you're doing your white water river adventure, that's what the pros who are tandeming down reminded me of those dudes. And you go in there into the hangar at the Grand Haven Airport, and they're packing their chutes, getting ready to go, anticipating what is about to happen. There had been some concern about weather, but weather was outstanding. Kevin Kuipers is here. He says, yeah, it's right. The people that jump out of planes are just like the ones that strap on you for the parachuting, or for the ones that jump out are just like the river raft people. They just have that type of personalities, it seems. We're doing an 8,000-foot jump. That is the lowest jump you can jump. And the free falling was maybe 15 seconds. I can tell you this. I wasn't the least bit scared during anything. However, there was a moment in time when I nudged my body to the side of the plane to fall out of it. And I had seen, we were the second to last ones to go. I think Nate was the last one to go. And so when you see you're gaining altitude and all of a sudden the red light goes on, that means we're at the altitude we need to be. And as soon as that light turns green, people start falling out of the plane. And the light went green, and sure enough, this dude who was he's one of the instructors, not skydiving with anybody, just alone, solo, he goes out. And when you see him fly out, I was like, oh, my God, fucking shit. And then everybody, Kuipers gets up there. He's gone. And it gets to be my turn, and I'm at the edge of the plane. And he goes, 1, 2. And then you have to, like, arch your back and look up. And I'm holding on like this. I'm crossing my arms. And then at some point, he's going to tap me on my shoulders. Then he wants me to put my arms out. And you'll see it in the video. But that moment, when you're looking down and all the wind, and you fall out of the plane, I had a look of terror. I feel I had a look of terror on my face. And then when the chute pops, it jerks you up quite a bit, slows you down dramatically, and I can see the other guys who their chutes are open, and it was just it's tough to use words to quantify how great it was. It's very difficult. But I can say that is, in my 55 years, nearly 56 years, that is the most exhilarating, exciting thing by far that I have ever experienced in my entire life. There is no... The only way to up the bar would be to go higher, and you can go up to like 14,000 feet. So right away, Tony from Skydive Grand Haven, he's like, yeah, I want you to get licensed. I want you jumping on your own. And I'm like, oh boy. Now I can't say for sure if that's in the cards for me, because I know my limits. I think if I ever were to do this regularly, I would prefer someone doing it for me. I'd rather just experience it rather than do it myself. Because knowing me, I would do something wrong, and I don't know. It's kind of like when you hear about, for me, when I hear about somebody who's been a pilot or becomes a pilot, and then they John Denver it or something like that. All right. Now, I have not watched this video. I saw a little preview of it, but it didn't really do it any justice. So I have some idea as to what is about to happen here. But this will give you an idea of what's happening.
Eric, welcome to Skydive Grand Haven. How are you?
God, I'm very well. How are you?
You're just fine.
I'm glad to be having your guidance and support. By the way, wearing the Midwest United gear. I'm excited.
You're excited I'm going to push you out of the airplane, right?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. There's Nate in the background. That's Nate from Wisconsin.
Well, you're geared up and ready. Do you have any questions?
Sir. I have no questions for you, my friend.
Right, let's go board.
I look like I weigh 350. That's the inside of the plane, obviously, for those listening to the audio podcast. Strapped to Scott there. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. All right. Now, hang on. This is... Oh, shit. This is getting our... the door. We're now inching forward, getting ready to go off of this plane. Nick has made numerous gay jokes, including Easy's favorite part was being strapped to another man, and that dude has Eric mounted perfectly. There I am on the edge. Cross my arms, look up. And then 1, 2. Now we're out of the plane. And you gotta tap me on the shoulder, put my arms up. That first chute there, that just slows you down a little bit, so that when he rips the big chute, it won't hurt you or won't jar you. Holy fuck. That is ridiculous. That's the first time I've ever seen that. What an asshole. So by the way, he's these straps here that he has, he ends up letting me steer the thing, which that was a trip. Because you just, if I wanted to turn right.
All right. You see our airport?
Yeah, no.
Right there.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Okay, keep us headed toward that. Direction?
You guys have got to do this.
Back out of ground, Eric. Did you have fun?
Friends for life. Thank you. You did so awesome, Scott. That was great.
Nice job.
My man.
You did a great job
Thank
yourself.
you. What are you waiting for? You've got to do that. Brancho says, even in midair, the hair remains perfect. Amy says, were you wearing skydiving Crocs? No. Red Bull Brain Chris says, kind of surprised, no helmets. No, I had my Adidas on. Starwolf says, Easy is a werewolf of London. I don't get that. Was there a skydive reference in the song Werewolves of London? Megan with the question, what is a helmet going to do when you're falling out of the sky? You know, I don't know, But I know that Tony or Scott there, he had a helmet on. Okay, Starman says the line, his hair was perfect. That's right, from Werewolves of London. I should have figured that one out. I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed. My God. So, as you're coming down towards the earth, he tells you to put your feet up. His feet touch, and then, you put your feet down. Sometimes you land on your butt. I landed on my butt. But that was it. It was... it's tough to put into words how amazing it was. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, yeah, you wear helmets to keep heads knocking with the other dude's head. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. We were very, very far apart, though. I can't say enough about that. So we're going to have to do that again. And just... when you're that high up, and that, like I said, that was the lowest jump you can do. When you're looking down at Lake Michigan, and when you first jump out of the plane, how quickly you're up to speed. So within a second, you're up to 120 miles an hour. So imagine experiencing that type of acceleration. Okay, it's like nothing. It's like the hand of God is just smashing you down into the ground. And you see, like in that short 15-second free fall, how much distance you cover and how quickly the ground gets big. And then, thank God, that chute opens. Man Bun Chris says, my heart would be racing. I can't believe you haven't commented yet, Man Bun Chris, on the fact that I was wearing my Midwest United gear. Maureen says I'd be puking all the way down. Kuiper says I can't wait to jump from 14,000. Yeah, we got to do that. We got to jump from 14,000 feet. Let's plan it. It's going to feel like we're in outer space after that first jump. So great. So awesome all the way around. Thanks to Skydive Grand Haven. Really appreciating them for all that stuff. My son writes, how scary was it? Yeah, again, it wasn't much more than the initial fall out of the plane. Then I had a little bit of fear crept across my heart, but not too much, not too bad. This is going to be a little bit of a screwy week. There will not be Friday podcasting, but we are doing a Big Fraud Thursday with Ben Glaze, and that is going to be show number 101 for Who Are These Free Beers and the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. That'll be a Thursday edition of those shows, and then I will make the audio available on Friday. And then on Friday after the radio show, I'm going to be heading up north for a getaway weekend with the dogs to Fear Bunker North to pick up some sticks and maybe attempt to repair my TV antenna. One of you, I think it was one of the folks in the mass Zaniac Exodus, the great Zaniac Exodus from a number of years ago, said that the antenna, the TV antenna that I put up for over-the-air TV was going to break with the wind one day, and it did. Just not nearly as durable as it needed to be. But he actually said that the pole was going to fall down. The pole did not fall down, but the antenna for my TV, which I constructed and put up there, the wind was so strong it ripped the fucking thing down, so I got to put a new one up there. Over-the-air TV is like new technology for these hill jacks up there. I got the power turned back on after the last time I was up there. I got all the way up there and realized I hadn't paid the bill in months, so they shut it all down, fuckers. My bad. But, yeah, be going up there. Starman is here. He says, I jumped once. When the chute opened, the harness came up and crushed my left jewel. Had to stand on the guy's foot to readjust it. Then it was a nice, yeah, because that harness goes right up your leg. Yeah, you could have smashed it beyond belief. Nick says, I honestly didn't know TV stations still broadcasted over the air. Well, it is digital. So you have to have a digital antenna. So it's like, you know how before when it was analog, it would be fuzzy and shit like that? I don't even know if you can remember that far back. You're very young. Since it's all HD and digital, you get it or you don't. But this antenna that I have, I put it up about 25 feet up. So I get stations from fucking everywhere. Cole says, I think with the digital over-the-air antennas, you get about 30 stations now. Yeah, you really do. In fact, it's not a bad deal if you're like a cord cutter. You can get quite a bit of TV with an antenna and really not miss anything, in my opinion. Cole says, I'm working next to the Air Force Academy right now all day long, planefuls of cadets jumping 20 or so at a time. Cool to watch. No way I'd ever do it. Dude, if I can do this, you can do this. What? I think that if you work up the energy to do that, work up the nerve to do that, I think you're going to be like, why the hell was I ever, don't be a Nancy asshole, okay? Just do it. Quit fucking letting your brain get in the way of something cool and do it. You know, I don't want to be the guy to say skydiving is not for everybody. No, skydiving is for everybody. It is for everybody. Now, Pooh Bear, she gets scared when she's on like the cargo net at the jungle gym. We took her ziplining when we were in Honduras. And she made everybody miserable because she was screaming the whole time. And she couldn't do it on. You're all harnessed in. You just ride the fucking zip all the way over the canopy. It's incredible. She wouldn't even do that. So the guy had to strap himself to her. And he had the worst BO on the planet. So she says, nope, I'm not doing that. But I wish she would, just to experience it. But if she went up, I would recommend she not be on a plane with anybody else because she's going to have a heart attack screaming. Well, not a heart attack, but she's going to scream so much she's going to make things uneasy for people that are on the plane. All right. Before I continue, thanks to the folks who are on Facebook and YouTube for being here. I am going to send you on your way. But I want you to head over to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you want my show, the rest of the show as it happens. Mondays are two-parters on the live stream because I have my workplace staff meeting at the radio station that I have to do in about 25 minutes. But head over to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you want the full show. The audio is available wherever you download shows. That's the audio of what I'm doing right now. That is also released in two parts. Please support the sponsors that help make this show possible. And I have a second platform, Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. And I put a second round of content up every single day there. And that's also where we do Big Fraud Thursday with Ben Glaze, the Lost Zane recordings, and something to listen to while I'm away, which is old shows from yesteryear. All at patreon.com/Eric Zane, and you can get it for 7 days free with a 7-day trial. Otherwise, it's $5 a month for audio, $10 a month audio, video, live streams. If you pay for one full year, I'll take 10% off for both of those. So what was $60 for audio is $54. What is $120 for audio, video live streams is $108. More info at patreon.com/Eric Zane. When you want to say hello or send me a nasty email with your fake email account, head over to the Shoreliner Striping inbox. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. That's eric@ericzaneshow.com. Okay, so I'm going to kick you folks out that are on Facebook and YouTube. But again, follow me on Twitch, and you'll be good to go. Before I do anything else, the West Michigan Whitecaps want to see you at an upcoming game. Now they're off. Well, they're on the road for the next week or so. They'll be back here next Tuesday in West Michigan. And it was a packed house yesterday as Detroit Tigers ace Tarek Skubal was in town, and he did very well. It's, like when the players were hurt, to get back into the rotation with the big club, they come to one of the affiliate clubs and pitch. And that was yesterday for him. He went like 5 or 6 innings and did quite well. That was awesome. Fans loved it. Sold out crowd. Go to a Whitecaps baseball game and enjoy the festive atmosphere always, all season long. Full schedule of events at whitecapsbaseball.com. Great team over there. Tickets as low as $14. Go see a baseball game with your West Michigan Whitecaps. I sent one of our beloved audience members off to the game to see Tarek Skubal. And thank you to them. Actually, I take that back. I sent the vouchers off to our winner, and then the poor guy, it was my fault, really, but they had sold out the event. So the vouchers are only good when the event is not sold out. So that was those, man, God, they disappeared as soon as it was announced that Skubal was pitching there. All right, so whitecapsbaseball.com. Hello to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. That's ervines.com. That's ervines.com. If you need your vehicle repaired, whether it's preventative maintenance for your car, EV, or hybrid, or if you perhaps have something dramatic that happens to it, they can take care of it at ervines.com. Free loaner cars available for you. They are awesome. Now, Megan said to me, look, if you're going to go and do your show and then talk about and post you repairing something, I might have to kick your ass. So I'm like, well, I won't make a habit of this. I can promise you that. But you got to understand, my beloved Megan, with what has happened with Big Vet bending me over for north of 22 large since November, I had to attempt to fix this damaged driver's side window. So I did do it on my own. Now, as you know, I will be dropping it off for the transmission repair leak. So you can count on that, my dear. Megan says, I totally get it. And Dad said he was proud of you. I didn't realize, I was a little bit worried. I was actually petrified that I would fail in this. And I shot video of how it unfolded for me. And I'll link it up in the show notes of this podcast. All right, this is video number 1.
Uncharted territory for your old pal EZ.
Okay, so the inside of that door is off, and this is all the mechanisms that allows you to open the door, close the door, lock the door.
Okay, this is fine.
Now that's what's inside of the door. That's what makes the power windows go up and down.
It's half the problem. This, I guess it's called the window regulator. I don't know. I mean, this thing broke. You can see right there. So then my window wouldn't roll up. I got that out. That wasn't easy. It also didn't help that the window was already all the way down. So it was kind of in the way, but I got it up and I have taped the window shut so that it won't fall down and break. I saw that. I didn't come up with that. Somebody in the video tutorial told me. Okay, I think we're about half done.
Bob writes, my only advice is never sell that truck. Now, I don't know anything about trucks, but since that was my dad's, I would never sell this truck anyway. But I think that I was reading a little bit about it's called the Cat Eye Chevy Silverado. The front end, the headlights look like they call it the cat eye look because it looks like a cat's eye, I guess. I don't know. And I guess the motors on these things they last forever. It's not uncommon to have a Vortec 5.3 run for 350, 400,000 miles. Like, what the fuck? How is that even possible? So, before I get to the conclusion of this video, there was a guy at King's Room Barbershop who had a bunch of his cars that he restored, and people give him their cars and say, yeah, I want you to bring this car back to life. So I said to him, hey, would you bring this car back? And so that's what I'm thinking, because there's a lot of rust on it, and I would love to actually have a classic vehicle, which it isn't like it's a 68 Chevelle, but in another 20 years, if I still had that truck and it's pristine, clean, awesome, people are going to love that thing, and I'm going to love driving it. So I am pretty excited about that. I think one day I would like to take the steps to make that, to kind of redo it. I don't want it show quality because I still want to drive it, but I don't want to drive it in the winter. I just want to drive it in the summer because those things are susceptible to rusting out. It's ridiculous. Donko says they're getting to be collectible. That's what I was reading. I read that the 03 Silverado and ones like it, they have bottomed out on how much they are going to depreciate. They will not depreciate anymore, and they're starting to acquire value. Not that I'm looking to make money on it, but I just like the idea. I've always wanted an old vehicle that people look at and go, wow, that's cool. Alan says, what year is it? 03. All right. So anyway, let's get back to the feeling you get when you have success.
I wish there was some sort of dramatic.
When something actually works out. Because I was reading, somebody wrote, EZ, the inside of that door is never going to be the same. It's never going to fit right when you put everything back together on the damn thing. No, it did. It totally did. Everything is perfect. It's like nothing happened.
So I wish there was some sort of dramatics of me screwing this up, but I don't think so, man. Oh, my God. Yeah, I know. I got to clean out the garage. I did not think this was going to work out. Holy cow. Thank you.
Holy shit. My 06 VW Beetle convertible is getting to that age, too. Has less than 60,000 miles. So that was part of my weekend with your old pal EZ. And then skydiving. After that, Berlin with Ben Glaze and Matt Kuiper and two of his kids. Now, I got to say this. This man has some skills when it comes to parenting. Because his 3-year-old daughter, Madison, was there. And so was his daughter, who's older. I forget that kid's name. She was very well behaved, very sweet, very polite. Madison is too, but I think she was tired, and she wanted to play in the bubbles. Down over underneath the grandstand off to the side, they had like a big foam thing going with all those. You run through the bubbles, the foam, and the kids love it. So he did that, and that's like great fun, especially for a little kid. And the kid's getting lost, and then he's like, all right, let's go watch the races. And she's like, fuck you. I don't want to watch the races. What the fuck? You bring me here, and now I got to go? They got a bounce house and bubbles. And you're like, it's time to leave? Go fuck yourself. He gets the kid, and she starts losing her mind. And so he brings her back up to the grandstand, and she is screaming. Now, no one can hear her because the cars are racing around at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I thought that it was like too loud for the kid, but the kid had ear protection on. He goes, no, she's fine. She just want to go in the bubbles. I'm like, oh, shit. But he handled it. Despite being generally a fuckface, he actually handled it quite well. I was impressed with his parenting skills because, I mean, I would have, wanted to drag the kid up to the top of the grandstand and throw the kid off the back of it, and just like, all right, that's the end of that, easy peasy. But he was good, very well behaved. He's got good temperament for that job. I think that you would, if you've survived 3 years of having triplets, which is what went down, I think you are seasoned and ready for pretty much everything that life can throw at you if you can handle triplets. Okay. Yeah, that's a workload and an unbelievable amount of stress. I think that if EZ first day of the presidency, I need to look at any parents who have triplets and consider bringing them onto my cabinet to be leaders or something like that because of what they've been able to accomplish raising triplets like that. Cole says there's a demand for the late 90s, early 2000 trucks, no touch screens, and no $900 a month payment. Yeah, those trucks can be very, very expensive. My neighbor on the next street has one the same year as mine, but he's a guy who knows how to repair that shit. Like there's all the rust on the bottom on the rocker panels. But you'll hear he's like cutting the metal out, the bad metal, and then he's got sheet metal and he bends it like appropriately and he rivets it on or welds it on and then he sands it down. It's fucking perfect. I'm like, you asshole, how do you do this shit? You and your skilled trades, fuck you. Absolutely awesome. Okay, after a busy, eventful weekend, it was great to see a lot of you sending me clips, including this moment somewhere in Tennessee. You know, it's 4th of July season when shit starts blowing up. This time, though, it's not a fireworks factory. We're usually good for one of those every couple of years. This is a truck transporting fireworks, a semi-truck. This is the video. Oh, boy. I got no sound. I need sound. Like a box truck. What do you think about all these people here that are in the lanes going the other direction? They're getting an incredible show. What a moment. Fireworks truck? That's one where you actually get out and shoot video. And then you like start clapping when it's all done. Yeah, I need more background. How in the world does that even start? Is that a deal where like the guy flicks a fucking cigarette out the window and it flies back in somehow? The next thing you're knowing, it lights up because it had to have started going off while he was driving, I imagine. And I'm wondering if this is like a flatbed, not a flatbed, but a pickup truck. Because if it was inside of an 18-wheeler, because it doesn't look like that, if you can see what I see right here. Alan is trying to wreck the bit by saying it's AI. I don't think it was. You know, I think we've gotten to a point now where we're past peak AI, where if it's AI, you know it. And I don't think it was. Plus, you got to look at the source. This is NBC News. If NBC News is posting that, there's a pretty good chance it's vetted. So shut up. You know how bad of a feeling that is when you act, first of all, when someone says it's AI, I just want to smack the piss out of you because we don't know whether or not it's AI. I know it's not AI. You claim it is, but you're a cock. And all you want to do is mess with my brain. I know you. I know that that's exactly what you're doing. Anyway, I still love you. These people are being hated by the world. There are a couple of influencers. And so, you get a couple, they're attractive, and they put their lives out there for everybody to see and hear. I don't have a problem with any of that. I really don't. I never have. I don't know how, I can't figure out yet what I think about all this. Maybe I will at the end of this discussion. They announced that they were pregnant, and then they announced that the child in the womb had Down syndrome, which there's a test you can do to determine that. Hell, speaking of Alan has a child with Down syndrome who is just as lovely as can be, sweet as peaches, beautiful little blonde. Love her to death. Never met her, but she just looks adorable. Now, this couple announced, all right, we just found out they read some test results live on their show or when they were posting something on their channel. It's probably 50 million people that follow them. They're wealthy beyond their wildest dreams, and they have found out in real time that the child will have Down syndrome. So then they announced, all right, we are announcing that we are going to have an abortion. This child, we are going to murder this child, and that's the end of it. And we are so happy. And that's what they did. Now, I think some of that might be sketchy. I can't say for sure that they said we are going to murder our child, but they are, so whatever. Rebecca says, EZ, do you have a work meeting today? Yes, I'm on top of it. I'm gonna have this wrapped up before that. Thank you, though. So they announced the murder, which, as you know, I support. I support a woman, a family, a husband, a wife's right to murder a child. We all know that in America, baby murder is a thing. Now, I think that the opportunities to murder have decreased somewhat because of Roe v. Wade being overturned. But on a state level, I think there are still plenty of states where you can go and murder. Like in Michigan, there's a lot of murder-loving women. I know Stevie's murders a baby every other weekend. Alan says, yeah, we found out at 12 weeks with a genetic test. What this couple, while Alan said, well, we're going to have this baby and we love her to death and it's going to be awesome. And it is. This couple said, it's time for us to murder this baby. Cole says, aren't Down syndrome people the happiest people on the planet? We can't have a happy kid. Get rid of it. Yeah, as awful as that sounds, that is the law. And I support the law always. I'm a law-abiding citizen. But now the internet is trying to abort them. Husband says, we sleep with a gun after the Down syndrome abortion death threats. Jesse and Ashley Ridgway say the backlash since they announced that they murdered their baby has been so intense they started sleeping next to a firearm. This is a picture of these two smiling. They're holding up an ultrasound that shows the aborted fetus. Wait, I might be getting that wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's what's happened here. I think they're very happy with the aborted fetus.
Here we go. We're going to see the result. I have to download the official report. Abnormal insight result.
This is when they found out.
Consistent with trisomy 21. No.
What is it? Wait. Where are you seeing this? Oh,
No.
let me see. I can't see it.
It says abnormal insight result. Blah, blah, blah. Showed 3 chromosome 21 signals consistent with trisomy 21 Down syndrome. Genetic counseling is recommended. Pattern consistent with trisomy 21.
Okay, now, I'm not going to play it, but he gets up and he punches her in the stomach.
Hey.
All right. They addressed criticism over filming and sharing the deeply emotional moment, explaining why they initially felt it was important to be transparent with their audience. No, well, they did that. You know, I mean, it's when your life is online like that. That's kind of what you do. They admit they may think differently about how much they share in the future. Yeah, I would have. And then they shared that online. Now, I don't know if in this video they announced it here that, hey, well, anyway, we've thought about it 1 minute and this child is going to die. But they did make that known. I think they made a huge mistake. I say they should have not aborted that child. And then, I mean, let's be honest here. Cole's right. People with Down syndrome are so outstanding. I mean, they are the salt of the earth, and you could make millions upon millions of dollars on the backs of Down syndrome children. And I'm here for that. So I think that's a huge mistake on their part. Plus, they wouldn't have had to kill anybody. That's fucking terrible. All right. Anyway, I might talk about this more coming up in part 2. I got to head over to my staff meeting. All right, see ya. All right, that is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.